Hi everyone, I'm Carol Keller. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Illinois in the United States. Oh, and I'm here with my usual Tuesday afternoon live, a couple minutes late because I just came from having a massage, so hopefully my hair's not too messy. But it was fabulous as always. So I'm very relaxed and ready to go. A couple minutes late, like I said, but here I am. I have another Christmas card today, another card using the, what's it called, Night Divine bundle. So I hope you like it. We'll get started right away. So, all right, that looks good. We're going to get rolling. This is the card for today. Oops, it's a little messy here today. I didn't have time to clean off my space. It's been creating, I have a craft fair coming up. Let's see, in about a week and a half or so, a little more. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. So I'm busy getting ready for that. I've been busy for a while, but you know, it always ramps up when the time gets closer. So that's why the desktop's a mess. But this is today's card. I love this bundle. I think it's so pretty. And I will show you how I made it. So I wanted to be a little creative and do different colors on here. So that's what kind of my idea was for today. But I actually started with a basic white card base. So we're going to do that. And flatten it with my bone folder, flatten that fold. And so I'm using the Oh Holy Night Designer Series paper. And I'm using different ones just because I wanted to see what it looked like. I love the idea of the stars and the night background. And so we're gonna put that on right away with some multi-purpose liquid glue. And this of course is cut to the same size as the card front. So 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2. Pop that right on. And you want to use your glue because it allows you to position it exactly where you want it. So that is what I'm going to do. Hope everyone's doing well today. And then I think we'll start layering on the front. We'll do that first. So I cut some pieces from the set of dies, this being one. So I'm going to grab my tape runner and get some adhesive on the back. And I basically just did it here and there on the back of this little stable. Do some toward the top. Just enough to hold it in place everywhere. And then I'm going to center it on the card like this. And for the people, it's one die. And so here's what I did. I cut one out and I knew I wanted the straw and the little crib to be this color, but then I kind of wanted to change up everything else. So I figured that was good for, you know, there's straw in the stable. And so I have lots of little pieces that I cut out, including this one that I don't want to lose track of. Glad I didn't lose track of it so far. So I cut this one, one of the kings in Misty Moonlight, and the sheep in basic white. And then this is, I'm assuming the gold, so I made it in gold. And then the shepherd in Very Vanilla, and Joseph and Mary in blue. So we're gonna cut things apart. I'm gonna grab my paper snips. Hello everyone, thanks for watching. So this I'm just gonna snip off right about here. And same thing here, I'm just snipping off the extra pieces so that we can layer them. And hopefully it will work as well as it did. And then I just angled it because I wanted to get, this is supposed to be hay, I believe. So I just angled it like that so I can lay it over. And the same thing with Joseph. And hopefully you can see this. My hand in the right spot here. I'll move it up. Again, snipping off the excess, including this. Get that out of the way. And next, the little lamb or the little sheep. And so I wanted to, again, make sure, you know, he's standing on just the straw and the stable. And so we're going to do it like this. And I wanted to get his leg there. And then we're going to kind of snip the bottom like that. And then last but not least, the king. So I'm just going to snip off where I know the lamb is going to go. And hopefully they will layer the right way. And I'm going to leave this here and just layer that over the top. But I am going to snip this. And I'll probably put this on first just because it's so little. So I believe that bottom part is meant to be his hand. So we're going to take that out of the way. And I'm going to grab my glue for this because I think even a glue dot is kind of big. And I'm going to put it right there. And we'll start layering. And I just layered everything over here. I felt like that was the easiest. And you can see I didn't line it up exactly there. There's kind of almost a shadow there. Let's do it this way. And what I want to do is just make sure it's laying over as close to that as possible. And I think it is. And so now for the rest of them, I just used my seal. And I'm going to leave that one there just to dry for just a few seconds. So we'll start over on the right-hand side. And I'm just going to put some seal and then lay it right over the top. And the first one's hopefully the easiest. Yep, that looks pretty good. And then just same thing, just put a little seal on the back. Or you could use glue dots too, because some of these are kind of small, but I think the seal will work too. And you're just going to layer each one as best you can, lining it right up there. And then this one. And this is the one that I didn't quite line up exactly, so I'm going to see if I can do a better job today. Looks good. And then the little sheep or lamb. We'll say lamb. We'll say it's a little baby. Same thing right over the top of this one. And then we'll see how the shepherd lines up. Yep, I think that's going to work. Okay, or not the shepherd, but the king. And I am going to put a little bit of seal on the back of that, back of his hand. And then layer that one. So once you have everything cut out, it's the cutting out that takes all the time. And the rest is pretty simple. Move that up a little, I think. Whoops. Yep, that's good. We're going to call that good. And then the same thing. I'm going to put some more seal on the back of this layer. And we're going to center it. And then we'll do some stamping. Oops. And actually, yeah, I'm not going to put that on yet because this is what I did. I put the sentiment at the bottom because I wanted to cover the stars since, you know, it's a whole night scene. There's no ground. So I purposely put the sentiment on the bottom to kind of cover that up. And we are still going to have a star over here, but I'm going to live with that. So I cut 2 scraps, just a few inches each. I didn't measure or anything. I just cut scraps. The only thing is this one is 3/4 of an inch wide and this is an inch wide because they're going to fit on my punch. I think this is called the Banner's Pick-a-Punch. So I'm going to keep that handy, but first we're going to stamp. We're going to stamp Joy and Peace from that Night Divine set, and we're going to stamp it in Night of Navy. It looks like people are liking the card. I know, I love this set too. Actually, we'll move that out of the way for right now. Put it over there. And yes, ladies, we have another downline meeting coming up. I'm going to email everyone, but I think we're going to do it the Sunday after Thanksgiving, which is maybe the 26th or something like that. I think it's the 26th. Oh, and that's what I'm going to do too. I'm going to first, we'll punch one end. I think that might be the easiest way to do it. Save our little piece. And then Joy and Peace is going to go over to the left-hand side. We may not even need to do anything but throw it back in there, I think. Yeah, let's just do that because I think that's going to be, it's a pretty good length. Straighten it out a little. And let's see. Yep, I'd say that looks pretty good. I'll get my little scraps out of the way. And then we're going to punch this one too. This one might need a little work for layering, but we'll see. Straighten it out, and now we're going to keep that handy and put this on. And then before we finish it though, because the ink's out and I don't want to put my hand in it, we're going to finish our stamping because we need that for the inside. We're going to line this up right here, and then we'll fix this in a minute. So we're going to stamp on the inside. I'm going to switch things around a little bit. And I took the inside sentiment from the Brightest Glow stamp set, and it says, "May the peace of the season light your world, and may your new year be the brightest." I felt like that went well with the stars. Just making sure I get some good coverage. And I know this looks crooked, but I'm looking here and it's even on the bottom, so that means the bottom part needs to be straight. And then that stamps straighter. And then for this one on the inside, I had cut out a camel that I thought I was going to use on the front, and I didn't, and so I put it on the inside, and I didn't get to punch one out yet, so I would suggest doing that. Other than that, the inside is done and the stamping is done. So let's finish this. So I need about that much. So I just need to snip a little bit off the end, and I think it will be good. And it doesn't have to be straight because you're going to cut that off anyway. It's going in the punch. So bring that back in one more time. We'll do it this way. And line it up. And pull it out. Perfect. All right, that looks good. So we're done with the punch. And so this is why I didn't put this on. I layered this first, and I put it on with dimensionals. So let me grab some of those. Nice new pack of dimensionals. And we'll take the paper off the back, and we'll line it up. And so then that covers up the bottom, and I centered it basically between these two sections of the stable. And now this already has adhesive on the back, and so I'm just going to tuck it right in. I'm going to stand up so I can see, but tuck it right like that. So it's also centered, and it falls just behind the tag. And so the only thing we need is some bling, of course, which we must have. So I'm going to use the Adhesive-Backed Star Trinkets, and they're big, so I'm just going to slide one right off and put it up here. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? I got the idea from looking at what was in the catalog, because I think they had done some different colors here. Not necessarily what I did, but it was the same idea, so that's where I got it from, and even the design of the card, but I kind of modified it. So let me show you what I used. Here is the Brightest Glow stamp set. Same thing I used on the last card that I did last week, which I have here too. So again, instead of just doing like a silhouette, I really wanted a little more color. And Brightest Glow has a bunch of sentiments for the outside and the inside, which I love. And then Night Divine, same thing, bunch of different sentiments, but no stamps. Or no stamps, they are stamps, no images besides just sentiments. And so then you get your images from the Night Divine dies. And so there they are. And I had punched out or die cut a little sheep, and I was going to kind of add it, but I couldn't find it. And then I kind of never went back to it. So I don't know, probably floating around here somewhere, but you could do that too. Just stick one on an end. But I like this. I think, you know, it's nice and centered with the sheep. It would be then a little off center. So it was just a thought. And then of course the paper, and I'll show you the ones that I used for each card. So let me see. Can you see those? Yeah, I think so. So one of these is going to be a scrapbook page next week. They're really kind of screaming scrapbook page to me. And I could have used this for the background too, and I debated doing it and then decided not to. So this was the one that I used for today's card. And the top of this is what I used for the sample. But, you know, and I thought about using this with the bottom, but then I don't know. I just decided I just wanted it. I didn't want to have to worry about matching it up and what was it going to look like. And the stable's not really in the town kind of thing, at least not in my mind. And then here's the last sheet. And then, of course, the other side. Coordinating patterns and colors. But I think the paper's beautiful, and I love the dies and the sentiments for the stamp set. So lots to love there. And that's it. And then, of course, the star trinkets. So that's it. That's the card. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments. And thanks so much for watching for my quick card. Again, all of it is in the prep, right? I guess it's not that quick. It's still almost 4:55 here, so seems quick to me though. But a lot of it, like I said, is the prep because you have to die cut all the different colors of this die. And so I just use scraps too. Let me give you a little tip. So I did not die cut the whole thing, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I only did sections. That's why what you saw was actually what I cut out. So I just put the end down in the Misty Moonlight just for the king, and then a little section for the lamb, and this section with the Balmy Blue. I don't know if I said that color too. Balmy Blue. This was Misty Moonlight, very vanilla, and basic white. And so that's all I did was use little tiny scraps because I didn't need to die cut the whole thing. And that's about it. So thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Happy stamping.